Hello everyone, Zero in the house, and today we're back with another episode of World Vision Final Fantasy Brave Exview's New Content Overview. It is the 8th of December, and as you might notice, no camera today, and I've got a very good reason for that, and that is because in my town it's 40 degrees Celsius. You can make the conversion into Fahrenheit, that's probably close to 100, if not over. So there's no way I'm switching on my lighting equipment for you to see my face. So for those of you that are disappointed, I'm kind of sorry. Anyway, let's move on and have a look at what's new this time around. As it is quite evident from the homepage, we do have a new vision card and Esper Max Maniple. So you'll be able to get the vision card shards for this vision card through the challenges board, which is just over here. Moving on, let's go straight on to the summons. You have 5-step guaranteed summon for the Max Maniple Vision Card and Esper. So if we have a look at the stats for this Vision Card, it does seem quite tailored for a Pierce Eyes unit. And incidentally, we do have one of those featured for the Final Fantasy 15 event, which is Aranea. How coincidental is that? Yes, so if you give this card to any Ice unit, they'll get attack up 10, missile attack up resistance 10, ice attack up 10, and max HP up 10%. And the whole party will get ice unit area attack resistance up by 20, ice unit pierce attack up 18, and once this card reaches level 99, everyone in the party will get ice unit critical hit rate up by 25. Yes, although Aranea is not the only ice-piercing unit, we also have Victora, and you can also somewhat incorporate Laswell into this ice-pierce PvP team if you want to build something like that. So if that is something you're going to plan for the future, why not go for this card? I don't think it's a bad idea to do so. But then, do remember, we're going to get our first Warrior of the Crucial unit, Doom, sometime next week, so it's quite likely you'll be able to counter her with this team, but she's proven to be pretty strong in JP, so your mileage may vary, to keep in account. Moving on, we have a standard banner for the vision card. I think that if you're gonna get any pool tickets, this is where you can use them. 5-year vision card guaranteed. I don't think it's a bad idea, but we're approaching Christmas, and I do think that we'll get better deals around then. Now, this is a bit of a scam, in my opinion. Yes, this is the only banner that will give you 100 bonus trial Reckoning launch celebration summon medals, and what can you get with that? We'll get onto it shortly. But before committing to anything, always do remember to check the drop rate, guys. Always do that, because you don't want to be in for disappointment. Do keep in account the applicable unit shards wording. That is because if we go down here, we already have it in the opening statement. Perform this summon and be guaranteed to obtain 40 applicable unit shards of your choice among either Victora, Kilfei, Farm, Carvel, Shell, or Titus. So you won't be able to get 40 shards for whoever you want, but only for those 6 mentioned dudes. So do keep that in account, and don't set yourself for failure and frustration. However, they're trying to sweeten the deal with these 100 bonus trial Reckoning launch shards. We can have a look at the mock shop and see what this is all about. So over here, you'll be able to get a couple of units and vision cards as pity. So either Victora, Kilfei, Farm, or Garvel. Other than that, there's not much else to talk here, so let's move on straight onto the far plane. And if we go under events in the far plane, we'll have Trials of Reckoning for the Final Fantasy 15 collaboration. So upon going onto the quest, you'll be able to get a couple of points and medals for this specific event, where you'll be able to do the Trials of Reckoning gacha. The item of that is highlighted this time around is Prompto's Wristband, and this, guys, is actually a really good piece of equipment, so I would recommend everyone to get at least a +5 of this. I think I should touch on the fact that you can get a +3 in the shop. I would recommend having at least a +3 as well, which is this one, and at least you can expedite and not hate your life if you're unable to finish a +5. However, if you have the time to do a +5, then you have a spare +3, which is still not a bad idea if you ask me. That human killer is going to be proving quite good, especially if you pair it with Titan and Odin as well. So you'll be dealing a hell of a lot damage if you have those three in your team. Yeah, there's not much else I really wanted to talk about here. That's why I skipped it. Perhaps the only thing I would recommend everyone doing is, instead of getting the daily shop paid banner, if you want to get the purchase vizier bonus, to use this, you get much more value out of that. So we have a new piece of story today. So we'll have a look at what's going on with Kuti. I haven't done it, as you guys can see, but I guess the title of this scene will give us a hint of what's there to expect. Lastly, I wanted to touch on the EXable units this time around, so we'll do just that. So the first unit I want to touch on is Kilfei, and I think that on paper Kilfei's kit is pretty good. She gets a bit of everything, fair amount of defense here, but she gets a upgradable mage node, which I think is going to be pretty good for her magic damage output. Now, at level 19, she'll get Energy Buster Enhancement, which eliminates activation time. I think that's pretty OP. If we go down here, this deals 3x3 grid AoE damage and guaranteed hit. So this is going to be pretty good to trump on those evade units. Level 22 skill, match up level 1 enhancement, where she'll have match and spirit piercing rate. That's I'm just smiling at the fact of how much magic and spirit piercing this woman's gonna get. I think I'm actually build her in the long run and see how she behaves and works out. If you guys want me to do a PvP team with Kilfei in lieu of Minhu, let me know. I'm still gonna build her, but if you guys don't wanna see her in action, no point me spending time in making editing that video. And on level 25, she'll get Staff of Augmentation, where she'll raise her own attack, magic attack, and her own defense for 3 turns, and lowers AP consumption for 3 turns. So pretty much is a physical tank that is going to trump on anyone that gets close to her with Energy Buster. So my face right now looks like notbad.jpg. Moving on, let's have a look at Titus. I think that this is the weakest upgrade of them all. Titus, quite well known to be an MR physical tank. He can be pretty good if you build him right, but I wouldn't really waste my resources on try to get him even for class matches. But that's just me. Anyway, level 19 job, level 19 skill. It's a passive, and this will enhance Holy Knight's protection to Holy Knight Bastion, which will raise his max HP, defense, pierce, and missile resistance. So pretty good frontline unit, just from reading the fact that he has extra pierce and missile resistance. I don't think that death is gonna do much to him now that we have a lot of defense piercing weapons and skills. I think he's gonna be pretty disadvantaged in that regard, but if he doesn't go against an Oberon that has pierce penetration, he should be kind of viable for missile units. Moving on, job level 22 skill, Saint Wall Enhancement. This will bestow a barrier on itself that reduces physical damage by 3 times and increase own chance of being targeted, and raises pierce resistance for 3 turns. This will be pretty good depending on the map you use it on. If the enemies are going to be pretty far away, pretty good. Otherwise, in a situation where the map will be pretty cramped on and ranged units manage to hate other party members, then you're out of luck. So yeah, I think it's very map dependent. Just first thing that pops up in my head. So I don't think that's a necessarily good skill. The extra hate is good. It makes him more of a tank, but still doesn't warrant him as a good unit. And if you plan to get into level 120, job level 25, you'll get a new skill, Paralyzing Slash. Deals medium damage to target and chance of inflicted paralysis for 3 turns in a pierce kind of cross pattern. Don't know why you want to do that. If you had the diagonals, I think it would have been much better. I think paralysis is a good status debuff, but you might want to raise his fate as well, which I don't think that's a good idea. And now we go to the best girl. I'm going to build her just because I'm a Chell simp. She's the best girl that needs protection. And at level 19, she'll get Dispel Enhancement, which will remove all buffs from target within range and lower agility for 3 turns and lower CT. I think this is going to be clutch specifically for the selection quest. Being the buffer, a buff removalist with agility break and CT break is going to be really good for those chains. So definitely a big plus there. Her board is looking like she's definitely more geared towards dealing more magical damage, even though she doesn't have many damage dealing skills. And lastly, Imperial Enhancement, which is her only damage skill, like I said. Enhances range, lower all elemental resistance of targets within range for 3 turns, then deals damage small based on caster match. I think this is gonna be her best go skill from a distance. I need to see how good the range is. And job level 25, another damage skill, which is much appreciated. So you need to get her to level 120. Deal ice damage medium to target based on caster match stat, and deals extra damage to targets affected by elemental res down. So this is going to be a good follow-up from using Imperial. I hope that the AI will use Eroding Eyes based on the fact that it will detect that the enemy will have elemental resistance down. So I want to play around with her. I won't deny that. I don't think I'll probably be using her for her ranked arena. But I might be using her for manual PvP just for the lols and see how she behaves. And that is all. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I hope that you'll be able to get that Prompto's wristband to +5. I don't think you will regret that. And I hope to see you guys next time. You guys take care and have a good one. Bye for now.